It's a pleasure to follow David Park. David brings the perspective of clinical practicing ophthalmology and the American Academy. I'm here representing the National Eye Institute, which is the reverse of that. We are focused on basic research, discovery research. The budget this coming year we anticipate will be just shy of $700 million. Most of our funding goes into paying grants to individual investigators, discovery research. A substantial part of this is devoted to basic science research. And also we have a clear mandate to translate these discoveries into medical interventions to ultimately improve public health. I'd like to call your attention to three major initiatives, one at NEI and two at NIH. 2 years ago, the NEI launched the Audacious Goals Initiative. This aims to do no less than regenerate nerve cells, regenerate neurons, and to reconnect them in the eye and the visual system. This is basic discovery biology, but it is the ultimate translational purpose. The end game here is to take this into patients. We launched this 2 years ago, and this year have put the first money on the street in May of 2015. And that money is to develop technologies for non-invasive functional imaging of retinal cells in vivo. On the NIH scale, there are two initiatives to pay attention to. Both of these this year are funded at nominally $200 million, and we anticipate that both of these will grow toward $500 million in the few years ahead. Both of these come out of statements by President Obama in the State of the Union last year, mentioning the need to understand the human brain that launched the BRAIN initiative. And I can tell you that vision is a part of the brain, the ultimate neural system to study, and a large portion of this money is going into vision research at this point. The second, the Precision Medicine Initiative, President Obama mentioned cancer therapeutics in the State of the Union this past winter. And this is really the future of medicine, to understand how the human genome plays out in cells and disease. So I would say pay attention to this, because it is going to change how medicine is practiced in the future. On the translational side, the NEI R24 research grants are going into converting basic knowledge into clinical application. These are substantial grants, big money, $2 million a year for up to 5 years. We will be putting about $11 million into this program in the current year. The program aims to move from proof of concept and preclinical development right into IND submissions. And for some of these successful projects, we anticipate possibly funding clinical trial to vet them and verify them further afterwards. One of these projects, just one, there are many, but the first of these was actually gene therapy for Leber congenital amaurosis. You have heard of that today. It was remarkable for medicine to provide a working copy of an enzyme to children who otherwise had no vision, very limited vision. That started in 2001 with an R01 R24 grant funding. And just as a measure of the pace at which all of this works, it is only now approaching phase 3 registration. That's the time that this kind of work takes. I think all of you are aware that there is federal money, including at the NEI, to support companies who are working to convert ideas from bench to the marketplace. The SBIR and STTR grants This is nominally about 3% of our budget, or $20 million this year. And it will be helpful to a number of small companies. I would also ask you to note that there is a regulatory assistance program that we started, which provides support for and education information for small companies to interact in the regulatory arena. In the intramural program, we have turned our attention to some fundamental biology that will be important in therapies in the future: stem cells and delivering genes by ocular gene therapy. Sheldon Miller and Kapil Bharti in the intramural program have developed a method to convert skin cells of patients into iPS cells and then to transform those into ocular RPE cells, and then to use an RPE patch to treat AMD. We anticipate that the clinical phase of this phase 1 will begin in 2 or 3 years. And I'm pleased to say, on behalf of the entire vibrant vision research community, that this program at the National Eye Institute at NIH is really the leading program at the NIH campus for neural transplantation. In ocular gene therapy, X-linked retinoschisis, we injected the first patients this spring and are looking to see the outcome of a phase 1/2 study. And we have preclinical work going on in retinitis pigmentosa, rare diseases that are single gene diseases, monogenic diseases that are amenable to gene therapy. And then NEI directly supports clinical trials research. Some $50 million this year will go into clinical trials. And just 2 examples, there are many, but 2 examples. The stubborn amblyopia, a group in the Pediatric Eye Disease Investigator Network, PDIG, just put that to the test and did extended daily eye patching and found that, in fact, up to about age 17, it was still possible to use the abilities of the eye, the neural system, to treat stubborn amblyopia. Quite a finding. Another type of research is that coming out of the Diabetic Retinopathy Clinical Research Network, drcr.net, in which 3 drugs were compared head-to-head for diabetic macular edema. And the outcome of this is really critical information for physicians and for patients to make informed decisions about how to treat diabetic edema. And then finally, we are working to grow the pool of talented vision researchers. And I would hope that in the years coming ahead, you will pay attention to some of these people, because they are going to be the future of innovation. So on behalf of the National Eye Institute, congratulations on this meeting. And I would say to the entire room, all the best in applying the new biology to devise new therapies. Thank you.